Hi everybody, it's Emma. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I have my window open and my dad's outside. Thank you for joining me today. I am going to be doing the mid-year freak out book tag. Obviously, it's a little past the mid-year point. It is the middle of August, so I'm filming this a little late, but I thought better late than never, and I wanted to film something today, and I thought this sounded like a lot of fun. So honestly, this is just a book tag. At this point, it's not really mid-year. I gave myself a challenge of reading 52 books this year. That's a book a week, and I am behind. I've read 29 books this year, and I'm 4 books behind schedule. Awesome, but I think we can get there. So I pulled up the questions on my phone, and I am going to go ahead and just answer the questions for you guys. Make sure to subscribe if you aren't already, and turn on my post notifications so you get notified every time I upload a video. And let's go ahead and answer these questions. What is the best book you've read so far in 2022? I have my bookshelves right here, and then I pulled up my Goodreads on my phone as well. I would have to say the best book I've read so far this year is Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. It is her newest release, and it was so good. I'm pretty sure I would classify that as like my favorite book of all time. So obviously it's going to be my favorite book that I've read so far this year. I don't have my physical copy with me because someone's borrowing it, but yeah, Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover would definitely have to be my favorite book I've read so far this year. So what is the best sequel you've read so far in 2022? Well, the only like duo books that I've read this year so far are It Happened One Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker. So I guess that would like have to be my answer by default, and they were really good. But if we're talking about just like second books in a series, not just duos, I would say no, I know exactly what my answer is. I read Family of Liars this year, the like prequel sequel to We Were Liars, and that is definitely the best sequel I've read so far this year. I can't believe I even forgot. It like took me a minute looking up at my shelves to like realize that I read that this year. But Family of Liars is definitely the best sequel that I've read this year. I'm just gonna be popping up photos of these books because I really don't feel like getting them down off my shelf. I can't believe I forgot about that. That book is so good. The most anticipated release is Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. It is the sequel to It Ends With Us. It starts like right where It Ends With Us left off. So that is my most anticipated release for the second half of 2022. Most definitely. The biggest disappointment. Let's see, what was my biggest disappointment? Okay, I've got a couple. I tried reading They Both Die in the End, couldn't do it. I DNF'd it. I tried reading Good Girl Bad Blood, the second book in the Good Girls Guide to Murder series, couldn't do it, DNF'd it. I really need to try that again because everybody loves that series, but I couldn't do it. Very disappointed because I actually liked the first book. I just couldn't get into the second book. I was so excited to read the Briar You series by Elle Kennedy, and I read the first book, The Chase, and I hated it. I did not like that book whenever I read it. It was the very first book I read in 2022. Now that I've obviously had months and months to sit and process it, I kind of miss that realm, that world, and I'm excited to read the second book now. I'm hoping that it's better than the first book was. I was just very disappointed. It was like pulling teeth trying to get through it, and I thought the writing was very Wattpad-y and not in a good way. Like, there are good Wattpad books, like I love the After series, but they're bad Wattpad writing too. And The Chase by Elle Kennedy felt so Wattpad-y. And I think my last one, I had quite a few disappointments, but my last one is Call Me By Your Name. I don't know how to say the author's name, but I love that movie so much, and I could not get through the book because I don't know if the movie was made first and then it was made into a book, or if the book was made first and then it was made into a movie. But either way, it is like verbatim, like word for word, scene by scene, movement by movement, quote by quote, the exact same thing. And when you've seen the movie so many times, it's hard to get through the book because you know what's coming next. There's no element of surprise to it, and I would rather just watch the movie in that case. So that was very disappointing because I love that movie. I was so excited to read the book, and then it was a big letdown, so didn't like that. My biggest surprise, I think I have two. The first one would have to be Taylor Jenkins Reid as an author. I did not think I would be the type of person or the type of reader who liked Taylor Jenkins Reid as an author. And just to preface, I did not start with Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo or Daisy Jones and the Six. I actually haven't read either of those yet. I've read 3 different Taylor Jenkins Reid books, and I have 2 more on my TBR. And I'm probably gonna end up caving and buying those 2 biggest ones, but I just haven't read them yet. I am very surprised that I love Taylor Jenkins Reid as much as I do, because I'm so excited to read the rest of her books. And I just didn't think I would be the type of person who really liked her writing or the stories or anything like that. I don't know why I had that in my mind. Maybe it's just because I'm just such a Colleen stan that it like is a huge crazy thing in my mind that I'll even like another author as much. But I love Taylor Jenkins Reid, so that's my first surprise. And then my second would probably be how much I love the novellas in the Hopeless series by Colleen Hoover. Finding Cinderella and Finding Perfect, those are so good. I think I rated them higher than a majority of people would because I found them so good. Like, I loved the novellas so much. Daniel and Six, they're so good. I loved those novellas, and that was a big surprise to me because I kind of thought it would just be like place filler in the series, and no, those books are so good. Who is your new favorite author? Like I was saying, has to be Taylor Jenkins Reid. So good. My stitch has been backwards this whole time. Like I was saying, it has to be Taylor Jenkins Reid. She's amazing. I love her writing style. I love her writing style so much. And the books I've read so far, the plot is so good, the storytelling is so good, the characters are amazing. Taylor Jenkins Reid would just definitely have to be my new favorite author. Fictional crush. Who is my fictional crush? I've got a few, but who is one that sticks out? I have 2. I think these are the 2 I'm gonna go ahead and go with. I actually really loved Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren, and I think Josh is gonna have to be one of my book boyfriends, my book crushes. A lot of people don't like that book as much as some of Christina Lauren's other books, but I really enjoyed that book a lot, and I loved Josh. I thought he was so considerate and so sweet. Always thought about Hazel's feelings and what Hazel needed first, so I love Josh. And then second, I'm reading the Mind F series by St. Abbey. Logan Bennett in that series. Logan Bennett from the FBI in that book. Logan Bennett is so good. I love him. He might be a little... There are points where I'm like, man, this guy is so stupid and naive, but we love a little naivety in the boys that we like. He is very much naive, but he is very sweet, and he wants to spend all the time with her that he can. He just loves her, and I love that for him. So Logan Bennett is my second one. Newest favorite character. Yes.
What are you doing? Vlogging?
Filming.
Would you be willing to give me a haircut sometime?
Yeah.
Do you think I need it?
I mean, you wear a hat, so, but your hair is getting long, yeah. Yeah, I can give you a haircut sometime.
Are you vlogging?
I'm videoing, I'm not vlogging.
What's vlogging?
Vlogging is when you're like doing things and like holding the camera and like...
I thought you were blogging.
Blogging is on the computer.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
There is a difference.
Okay. Do you work tonight?
Yes, at 5.
It's getting to be that time.
I know. Newest favorite character. I think I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys 2 of my newest favorite characters. So we love Ledger from Reminders of Him. I love that man. I really liked Nina Riva, the whole Riva family in general, but also like Nina specifically from Malibu Rising. A book that made you cry. We're gonna briefly go over this one because I've already talked about this book, but Reminders of Him made me bawl like a baby. Reminders of Him made me bawl like a baby. Like, I literally was like, tears streaming down my face. I had to like stop and wipe tears out of my eyes because I couldn't even read. A book that made you happy. Let's see, what book did I close? And I was just like, I loved that. I don't want to go to work. Oh. A couple books that just made me happy. I would have to say this Whole Summer I Turned Pretty series just gives the best vibes and just made me happy. I just love that series so much. And then another book specifically, like just one book that made me happy. Honestly, this is a little weird if you read it, but I would have to say After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. The book, while you're reading it, is pretty sad. It's about a couple who's married and has been married and doesn't know if they want to stay married, and so they split up for a year and have no contact with each other, and then they come back a year later and figure out if they still want to be with each other. But if you've read it all the way through, you kind of know what I'm talking about, because it gives you some very good life and relationship lessons, and the ending is just so good. So I closed it and I was like, that's exactly how I wanted that to go. I loved that. So yeah, After I Do, very good. Made me very happy. The most beautiful book you bought this year, and I would have to say, I've said this book so many times, but say it with me everybody, Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. That cover is actually really beautiful. I love that cover. I also really like the Call Me By Your Name cover. I love the Every Summer After cover. That cover is so pretty. I think those are my 3 favorite ones. Reminders of Him, Call Me By Your Name, and Every Summer After are my 3 favorite I bought this year. But I really want to get, so if you didn't know, I already said this, but my name's Emma. I really want to get Emma by Jane Austen, but I want to get like a beautiful collector's cover because my name's Emma, and I've heard that book's actually pretty good, so I would read it, but I really want a pretty Emma book cover to like display in my room. Books that you need to read by the end of the year. Books that I personally need to read by the end of the year. I really want to read the rest of the After series by the end of the year. I got it last Christmas, so I want to be done with it by this Christmas. I don't want to take over a year to read all of them, but it's currently August and I'm only on the 2nd book. So that means I've got 3 more to go after this. So I'm gonna have to like speed read them if I want to get through them by the end of this year. And then I really want to finish all of Colleen Hoover's books because I want to like do a video of tier ranking all of her books. But there are a few of them that as much as I love Miss Colleen Hoover, there are a few of her books that I'm like, I just don't really want to read those. These aren't ones I need to finish, but I need to start the Addicted Calloway Sisters series. So many people rave about it and I just need to start it. It's hard for me to like be motivated to start it though, because they say that the first book is like not the best and it's not gonna really like motivate you to get into the series. And I'm really bad with TV shows, but if I didn't like the first episode or season, then I don't finish it. So I don't want to be that way with books, but I really need to start the Addicted/Calloway Sisters series this year. That is all the questions that are in my mid-year freakout tag. That is going to be it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. I was going to film my whole physical TBR today, but I'm going to go book shopping tomorrow and I'm just going to add to it. So I was like, I'll just film after I go book shopping tomorrow. Make sure you go like, subscribe, comment, all of that YouTube stuff. Make sure to go follow me on all my social medias. They're always linked in the description down below. I appreciate it so much. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.